Kia ora, my name is Dr. Sunita Gautam and I have been JP for about more than 4 years.
Kia ora, I'm Mark. I became a JP a bit over a year ago.
Being a JP is a brilliant thing. I love meeting people and I get to see a vast range of people from all walks of life.
It's all about finding a really fulfilling way to help your community and to be there for people when they need it.
So if you are thinking about becoming a JP, the first thing you need to do is that you need to go and say hello to your local MP. So you go to your MP's office and staff would help you to guide through a process. There is a JP pack which basically have forms and all the regulations required for individuals who would like to become a JP. It's a bit of a process in terms of filling form, collecting references and then applying through your local MP's office.
So you need kind of basic computer skills and you need a little bit of attention to detail so that you can compare two pieces of paper and make sure that they're the same, and if you've got a complicated form, make sure you've done what you need to do, and if you get something really gnarly, you kind of have to be able to figure out on the fly what is the correct thing to do. So as long as you've got your head screwed on and you're kind of a good person and you like working through some of those details, it could be for you.
So JP's job, full form of JP is Justice of Peace, and it's a position, it's an ordinary position. You're appointed by Ministry of Justice to serve in the community. It's a volunteer position, and what JP does, JP basically comes into the various roles. To start with is that they would verify your documents. So for example, if you have a document such as bank proof details or address proof details and you need to submit it for employment, for home loan purposes, it could be various reasons people need those documents to be verified. So JP's job is basically to see your original and take your copy and certify it, stamp it, and what JP is saying is that this is a real copy of the original is being presented to them. JPs also take affirmation or oath, declaration, depending on various reasons. It could be property matter, it could be legal matter, and you need to make a declaration or affidavit. And in those cases, JPs are present there to basically verify that it's you who is making that affidavit or declaration.
It can be quite daunting having to go to a JP to get your whatever it is signed off, and you don't necessarily know what to expect. And if you know that you're going to someone who looks like you or comes from a part of the community that you identify with, that can really help take off the edge and make you feel more comfortable.
Most important aspect is that you are a people person. You are helping your community and the needs of your community in terms of JP services could vary. Sometimes people need you to be certifying their documents on urgent basis. So your availability, your ability to connect with people, because sometimes the person who has been in front of you could be in a vulnerable state as well, could be having impairment. So your ability to facilitate their needs.
There have been a few times where I had someone really in need, and I was able to help them, and sometimes it might have been at a really weird hour of the night, or it might have been at really short notice, but someone really in distress or really at kind of a really pivotal moment in their life, and the fact that I was able to be there and give them what they needed in that moment was really special.
One of the proudest memory for me is that I'm able to help people from all background. I come from an Indian background and I myself can read and write several Indian languages, which also helps me to serve my Indian community individually in terms of not really translating but able to verify the documents. So sometimes documents are in Hindi language or a particular place and addresses are not from New Zealand, but me having that cultural background helps to verify that or understand the requirement. Sometimes people have language barriers, so I'm able to understand that. As
we get a younger generation of JPs coming through who are really computer savvy and social media savvy, you can have a think about how might you reach out to your communities in a way that the previous generation of JPs hasn't. And could you use social media to connect to more people, or could you have a Google Maps listing, or what could you do to make yourself more accessible? What gaps are there at the moment in terms of the current JPs that are available that you could help to fill?
It's a job with similar all the ethics and possible responsibilities, but it's not a paid job. So as a JP, it's an illegal to accept any kind of offerings from the people who have visited you. It's a complete community and service, and it's a volunteer service.
First, you have to get the application forms from your MP. So you look up where you're enrolled to vote and who your MP is. You can also go to a list MP, but then they're just going to have to forward your application on to your local MP. So if you can just go through your local MP, that's best. So here in Christchurch Central, that's Duncan Webb. You get the form, you fill it all in, you get a couple of letters of support from community organisations that you work with. You have to do a statutory declaration in front of another JP or anyone who can witness those as part of the application process, make a CV, put it all in, and then you kind of just wait for the wheels of bureaucracy to turn. It took about a year from when I put my application in to me actually becoming a JP, and most of that was just waiting. But there was a little bit of training along the way and an online test. It's all pretty straightforward as long as you read all the materials and kind of understand the principles of what you need to do. And then at the end of it all, once you've been approved and appointed, you have to attend a swearing-in ceremony at the courts, where you have to swear allegiance to the King. You can do that in English or in Te Reo Māori, and you can do it as an oath, which is a religious swearing, or you can do it as an affirmation, which is the non-religious option. And once you've done that, and you've sworn to serve the King, but also to serve the people of New Zealand and to do everything according to the laws of New Zealand, then you hit the streets and you get listed in the JP directory, and it's up to you to make people aware that your services are available and to rise to the occasion when you're needed.
I would say come and talk. You can come to your MP's office and have a chat. You can talk to, if you are associated with an organization, you can talk to the senior person in the organization, because that you might need a letter from them to support. So anyone who is thinking that they would like to put their hand up to serve the community, it's a great honor to be able to identify that you can serve your community, and this is one of the best ways to connect with people. As I said, that it comes from all background people, and meeting them is great. So what I would suggest is that if you have that people inclination and you have giving back intentions, becoming a JP is a really rewarding, intrinsic rewarding job.